Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have subscribed already. So today we will be dealing with an essay written by Roland Barthes, The Death of the Author. So let's first dive into the objectives of this essay. The primary objective of Barthes' essay is to challenge the traditional notion of the authorship in literature and to emphasize the role of the reader in creating meaning. So Barthes argues that the idea that a text's meaning is derived solely from the author's intention, suggesting instead that the text exists independently of the author and that its interpretation is influenced by the reader. So, similar to the reading process by Wolfgang Iser that we discussed in the previous video, here Roland Barthes also emphasizes on the importance of the reader so that the full potential, full meaning of the uh, text comes out. To understand this more clearly, let's dive into the arguments presented by the author in this essay. So, the first would be independence of writing. Barth starts by asserting that writing is an autonomous process detached from the author. He argues that once a text is written, it transcends the author's personal history, intention, and identity. The text exists independently and should be interpreted as such. He says that when when a text is written, is published, is there out in the world, you can't judge it by the history or intentions or experience of the author. Now it depends solely on the reader's experience, background, and emotion, how the reader interprets it. It's independent of the author totally. Barthes believes that focusing on author's biography or personal intention limits the interpretation of the text. The text itself, with its language and structure, holds its own meaning, separate from its creator. The next argument that he presents is the historical perspective. Barthes provides a historical context to explain the emergence of the author figure. He suggests that the concept of the author as the central figure of a text is a relatively modern phenomenon, particularly influenced by the rise of capitalist society. In pre modern and many ethnographic cultures, storytelling and narratives were often attributed to communal and anonymous sources. The idea of a single individual author is tied to a capitalist ideology that emphasizes individualism and property rights, including intellectual property. So he gives an example how previously pre-modern era the storytelling and narratives were a cultural and communal thing, and then and that this idea of a single person holding an authority over a piece of literature is a capitalist ideology, uh, which emphasizes the individualism and property rights, which includes intellectual property. The next very important argument that he presents is that language speaks, not the author. Drawing from structuralist and linguistic theories, Barthes argues that it is the language itself that speaks through a text, not the author. According to Barthes, the author's role is merely to assemble language, which is a system of signs and symbols governed by the rules. The text is a fabric of quotations derived from innumerable centers of culture rather than a direct expression of the author's own thoughts or experiences. This shifts the focus from the author's supposed original intention to the interplay of a language and culture within the text. What he means by this here is that he suggests that the text is the interplay between the culture and the language that the author experiences, and the role of author is to merely assemble that language that is derived from innumerable centers of culture, that is derived from innumerable sources of the culture. So in the next part of his argument, he discusses the role of the reader. One of the Barthes' most radical argument is the emphasis of the reader's role in constructing the meaning of a text. He argues that the unity of a text lies not in its origin, which is the author, but in its destination, the reader. Each reader brings their own experiences, interpretations, and imagination to the text, creating multiple potential conflicting messages and meanings. Barthes believes that this multiplicity enriches the text and liberates it from a singular authoritative interpretation imposed by the author. So, what he is saying is that as the readers bring their own experiences, imagination, and emotions when they read the text, it denies the authority of the author, that the author's intention or interpretation are only valid. It negates that. That is what he's trying to explain here with the role of the reader. By dissecting these arguments, Barthes challenges the traditional authority of the author in literary criticism. He argues for a more democratic approach to interpretation, where the text is seen as an open and diverse reading rather than a constrained by the author's intention. Barthes concludes that the concept of the author should be abolished in favor of a focus on the reader, who plays a crucial role in bringing the text to life. In essence, the death of the author is a call to shift our focus from seeking the author's intended meaning to exploring the rich, varied interpretation that readers can bring to a text. So, this concludes this essay here. This is very similar to the reading process by Wolfgang Iser. If you have understood that, this is very easy essay to understand. So if you haven't checked that video, do check it out. It is going to be very easy if you have understood that one. And so all the best for your examinations. And also, if you need detailed notes for your examinations, do DM me on Instagram. I will link the ID below in descriptions. Do subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. See you next time. Bye.